They say love conquers all, but what happens when love faces a formidable opponent, a mother's fierce disapproval, a past shrouded in loss? This is my story, a single mother who finds love again, only to discover that the path to happiness is paved with obstacles. Join me as she navigates a whirlwind of emotions, confronts prejudice, and fights for her right to love, all while building a family filled with hope and resilience. My name is Olivia Smith, and I'm a 38-year-old single mom and graphic designer, making a living in Chicago. My whole world revolves around my delightful 8-year-old daughter, Zora. Though our family is small, the love and happiness we share fill our cozy home. 5 years ago, my life changed forever when my husband Tom was tragically taken from us in a car accident. That fateful night, I was burning the midnight oil at the office, preparing for a critical presentation. Tom called me repeatedly, but I was too engrossed in my work to pick up. When I finally finished late that night and returned home, a police officer was waiting at my doorstep. "Ma'am, your husband has been in an accident," he said. The moment those words reached my ears, it felt like my entire world crumbled. I remember it vividly to this day. In the 5 years since, I've marched forward hand in hand with Zora, carrying Tom's memories in my heart. Little Zora may not have fully grasped the grief of losing her father, but I vowed to always be there for her, to love her enough for both her parents. "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner tonight?" Zora chirps as she drops her backpack after school like she always does. "Well, what's your special request?" I ask with a tender smile. "I want your famous mac and cheese." Zora dashes to the kitchen and eagerly hands me an apron as I cook. I cherish the carefree chats with Zora, the happenings at school, tales of her friends, and her favorite subjects. Seeing her unfettered grin never fails to lift my spirits. After dinner, we settle in to watch TV or play games together, reading storybooks in bed until Zora drifts off. It's our nightly ritual. "Sweet dreams, my little princess," I whisper as I plant a kiss on her forehead. Once Zora's sound asleep, I dive into my design work. Being able to do graphic design from home makes it much easier to balance job and parenting duties. Those late-night hours immersed in creative projects with a mug of coffee by my side are priceless to me. Weekends are for shopping trips with Zora, picnics in the park, and building precious memories one by one. Though time and money can be tight as a single mom, nothing is more important than creating special moments with my daughter. Our life is far from easy, but every time I see Zora's radiant smile, I'm reminded that we have to keep pushing forward. I know Tom is watching over us from heaven. With that faith in my heart, I greet each day with resilience and hope. It was during one of our usual outings to the neighborhood park that I first met Michael. Zora was playing on the swings while I sat on a bench checking work emails. Glancing up, I noticed Zora about to fall off the swing. "Zora!" I rushed to her aid, but before I could reach her, a man swooped in and caught her securely. "You okay, sweetie?" the man asked gently as he helped Zora off the swing. "Thank you so much." I hurried over, deeply grateful. "Oh, it's nothing. No scrapes or bruises, right, honey?" The man gave Zora a warm smile. In his early 30s, he had kind features and a handsome face. "I'm Michael Williams. I was admiring what an adorable daughter you have when I saw her start to slip off the swing." "I'm Olivia Smith. I can't thank you enough." I reiterated my gratitude. "Thanks, mister," Zora chimed in brightly. Michael winked at her and said, "Anytime, little princess." We ended up chatting on a park bench for a while after that. Michael, it turned out, was a lawyer who worked at a nearby office. He had stopped by the park for a jog after work. I shared my story, too, about being a single mom working from home as a graphic designer and about my late husband. Michael listened intently, nodding empathetically, his gaze full of compassion. "You're an incredibly strong woman, Olivia. Juggling work and motherhood all on your own is truly admirable." His words made me feel a warmth I hadn't experienced in a long time. When I glanced at my watch, I was surprised to see dusk approaching. "Oh my, look at the time. We should head home." That's when Michael said, "Olivia, I'd love to see you again and chat more if you're open to it. Perhaps the three of us could have dinner together sometime." His invitation caught me a bit off guard, but seeing how excited Zora was at the prospect, "Yay, Mom! Let's go eat with him," I agreed with a smile. 2 days later, the three of us enjoyed a lovely meal at a local Italian restaurant. Michael brought Zora a storybook and asked me thoughtful questions about my work. It all felt so natural and familial. Dinner dates became a regular occasion for us, and Michael and I grew closer with each caring gesture and dedicated act. He brought healing and happiness to my once heavy heart. Then one special day, Michael took Zora and me to the zoo. As we watched Zora squeal with glee at the lions, exchanging joyful glances, Michael tenderly took my hand in his. "Olivia, you fill my life with joy. I want to be by your and Zora's side today and always." Tears streamed down my cheeks at his heartfelt confession. "Oh, Michael, you make me happier than I ever thought I could be again." With those words, I fell into his loving embrace. As my relationship with Michael blossomed, I gradually learned more about his family, especially his mother, Valentina, whom he often spoke of with great reverence. Valentina was a retired professor from the University of Chicago, an accomplished and intelligent woman. Michael adored his mother, regularly visiting her home for meals. "I'd love for you to meet my mother this Sunday," Michael suggested during one of our dinners. "I've told her all about you, and she's eager to get to know you." Though I felt some nerves about gaining his family's approval, my love for Michael took precedence. I agreed to the plan. That weekend, I accompanied Michael and Zora to Valentina's house. When we rang the doorbell, an elegantly poised woman answered. "Hello, Valentina. I'm Olivia Smith." I greeted her with my warmest smile, presenting a gift box of gourmet treats. But Valentina's expression remained stern. Her response to my introduction was rather curt. "Ah, yes, you're Olivia. Do come in." We settled into the living room with me sandwiched between Michael and Valentina on the sofa. She eyed me critically, brow furrowed. "Michael mentioned you're a single mother who does design work from home, is that right?" "Yes, that's correct. I'm very fortunate to have a setup that allows me to balance my career and parenting," I replied brightly. "Working from home. I wonder if that provides a stable income. I certainly hope you're not depending on Michael," Valentina said pointedly, her tone laced with condescension. "Mom, that's not fair. Olivia is doing an amazing job." Michael immediately came to my defense. Valentina was equally cold towards Zora, even when Zora sweetly tried to engage her grandma. "Come play with me," Valentina rebuffed her, stating, "I am not your grandmother." That afternoon, tea was a series of trials for me. Valentina fired off question after question about my background and parenting approach. "Did you attend university? Raising a child alone can't be good for your daughter." I did my best to respond, but winning Valentina over seemed an impossible feat. Even when Michael interjected, "Mom, please stop," her icy gaze remained unwavering. Later that night, as Michael drove me home, I couldn't help but sigh. "Olivia, I'm so sorry about my mother. She didn't mean to attack you like that. I believe she'll come around eventually," Michael reassured me gently, squeezing my hand. I managed to smile back at him, but couldn't shake the feeling that Valentina's disapproval cast a dark shadow over our future. As my relationship with Michael progressed, we began to consider marriage. However, Valentina's opposition loomed as a formidable obstacle. One evening, Michael invited me to dinner. I sensed something was weighing on him from his unusually tense demeanor. After we were seated at the restaurant, Michael took my hands in his expression earnest. "Olivia, when I'm with you, the whole world seems brighter. Spending my days with you gives my life meaning." Then he pulled out a small box from his pocket. "Olivia, will you marry me? I want to build a blissfully happy life with you forever." Tears welled up in my eyes at his words. "Yes, yes, of course," I managed through my joyful sobs, falling into Michael's embrace. At that moment, we were the happiest couple in the world, but our relationship was short-lived. The very next day, I got a call from Michael. "Olivia, I told my mother about our engagement and—" His voice trailed off weakly. My heart sank. "She disapproves, doesn't she?" "Yes, Mom says you're not right for me, that as a single mom with an unstable job, you're just after my money." I was stunned, hurt, and angered by Valentina's harsh prejudice. Yet I also felt guilty for putting Michael in this position. "Michael, I love you so much, but if your mother is so against us—" "Olivia, I choose you. My mother will just have to learn to accept us," Michael declared firmly, giving me strength. That weekend, we went to see Valentina again. Michael informed her of his resolute decision to marry me. "Mom, Olivia is my life partner. Making her my wife is what will make me happy." But Valentina's response was frigid. "Michael, I don't believe you're thinking straight. Olivia will ruin your life." "What do you mean by that?" I asked, my voice quavering. "You are not good enough for my son. Your education and status are lacking. Being a single mother is also a major disadvantage." Her words sliced through my heart like a knife. Michael lashed out at his mother. "Enough! Stop insulting Olivia! She is the woman I've chosen!" "Michael, you don't know what real happiness is. Someday you'll realize that," Valentina retorted coldly before storming out of the room. That night, Michael held me close and whispered, "Olivia, I won't give up on us. I'll convince my mother, I promise. Please have faith in our future." I buried my face in Michael's chest, my tears flowing freely. Facing Valentina's objections would take all the strength of Michael's love. Hand in hand, we began to walk this difficult path together. Hey, pause for a moment. Would you care to support us? Like this video and subscribe for more. Now, let's dive back into the story. As my wedding to Michael approached, my joy was tainted by the ongoing tension with Valentina. Her interference only escalated as we made preparations for the big day. One afternoon, Michael and I visited a bridal boutique to choose my wedding gown. Michael beamed at the sight of me in a pure white dress. "Olivia, you're the most beautiful bride in the world." Just then, Valentina barged into the shop unannounced. That dress doesn't suit you at all. Pick something more refined," she scoffed. I was dumbfounded. Michael tried to reason with his mother. "Mom, please don't meddle with Olivia's dress choice. I want you to respect her decisions." But Valentina wouldn't hear it. "A wedding reflects on the family's reputation. My input should be considered." In the end, I was pressured into selecting a gown that met Valentina's tastes. Michael squeezed my hand apologetically. "Olivia, I'm sorry I couldn't give you the dress you wanted, but no matter what you wear, you'll be the most stunning bride." It wasn't just the dress, though. The guest list, venue selection, and every aspect of wedding planning became a battle. Valentina incessantly pushed her opinions on us. "You need to be more selective with the invitations. It could affect Michael's career. Choose a more prestigious venue. I won't have you getting married at some shabby location." Her demands were a far cry from the intimate, heartfelt celebration Michael and I envisioned. He was struggling under the weight of his mother's intrusion, but never stopped trying to protect me. "Olivia, let me handle my mother. I don't want you to have to put up with this." "No, Michael, we'll get through this together. I'm on your side," I reassured him. Amidst all this, we started looking for our first home. Building a cozy family life was our dream, so we focused on neighborhoods well-suited for raising children. Our realtor showed us several listings. Finally, we found the perfect place. A house with big, bright windows in the living room and a yard where kids could play. "Michael, this is where I can picture us raising Zora, watching her grow. I'd love to make our home here." I hugged Michael's arm, my heart full. Predictably, Valentina was unimpressed. "This house is too small. There's no proper room for guests or extra space for children." "But Valentina, a house like this lets us prioritize our family's comfort," I countered. "Tisk, tisk. You would pick a house unworthy of Michael. You should be buying something that reflects his stature," she said, her words bruising my spirit once more. Michael attempted to placate his mother, but she wouldn't budge. "Michael, you deserve so much better than this. There are far more suitable women out there for you than Olivia." Her remark made my blood boil. "Valentina, I intend to make Michael happy. Please accept us," I pleaded. She glared at me, eyes devoid of warmth. "You'll never live up to my expectations. Michael will see that sooner or later." Valentina's disapproval remained the biggest hurdle in our path. Somehow, Michael and I made it past Valentina's objections. Our wedding was a small but love-filled affair. Zora made the sweetest flower girl, scattering petals in her little white dress, looking every bit an angel. Voice thick with emotion, Michael recited his vows. "Olivia, meeting you was the single best thing to ever happen to me. I promise to love you, cherish you, protect you for all my days." Through joyful tears, I pledged my heart to him in return. "Michael, I can't wait to walk through life with you. My love for you is everlasting." To the sound of our gathered loved ones' cheers and applause, we embarked on our new journey as husband and wife. A few months into our married life in our new home, I received some wonderful news. My period was late and I felt changes in my body. "Michael, I think I might be pregnant," I told him one morning. His face instantly lit up with joy. "Olivia, that's the best news ever." Michael embraced me tightly as we shared in the excitement. We promptly visited the obstetrician and received confirmation of the pregnancy. "Congratulations, you're 6 weeks along and the baby is developing well," the doctor informed us, leaving us overwhelmed with emotion. Michael placed his hand on my belly and spoke softly. "Hello there, little one. I'm your daddy. Always remember that. I love you more than anything in this world." We shared the news with Zora, too. "Zora, you're going to be a big sister. There's a baby on the way." Her eyes sparkled with delight. "Yay, I can't wait to meet the baby." Wanting to share this miracle with our loved ones, we reached out to Valentina. Michael called her to announce the pregnancy. "Mom, Olivia is pregnant. You're going to be a grandmother. Congratulations." His voice brimmed with happiness, but Valentina's response was far from enthusiastic. Are you sure she's pregnant?" Michael was taken aback. "Mom, what do you mean? We've had it confirmed by the doctor." "She must be trying to trap you. I bet she's faking the pregnancy to get her hands on your money," Valentina accused harshly. Anger flashed across Michael's face. "Mom, that's not true. She loves me. We're becoming a real family." "Michael, you're being deceived. Olivia is a cunning woman. The nerve of her claiming to be pregnant as a single mother. It's unbelievable." "Enough, Mom. Stop trying to ruin our happiness," Michael shot back. But Valentina hung up on him. He comforted me, and as I fought back tears, "Olivia, I believe in you. My mother will have to accept that this child is a product of our love." The next day, while out shopping, I felt the eerie sensation of being watched. I looked around but saw no one suspicious. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. As this continued over the next few days, my suspicions grew stronger. Someone was keeping tabs on me. Deeply unsettled, I confided in Michael. "Honey, I think I'm being followed. I feel like someone's watching me." He took my hands in his. "Olivia, I thought I noticed a suspicious man around you recently, too. That's why I asked a friend to investigate." Just then, Michael's cell phone rang. It was John, his detective friend. "Michael, about that investigation you requested, I've discovered that your mother has been having your wife followed." He was dumbfounded. "What? My mom is having Olivia tailed?" "Yes, she approached me to keep an eye on Olivia's activities." Michael looked at me apologetically. "Olivia, it seems this was my mother's doing. I'm so sorry for putting you through this." I was at a loss for words, my legs nearly giving out from under me. "Why? I haven't done anything wrong." He held me tightly and whispered, "What my mother did is unforgivable. I won't stand for anyone hurting you." That evening, Michael confronted Valentina. "Mom, why did you have Olivia followed? She's done nothing to deserve this." She remained defiant. "I needed to verify if Olivia was truly pregnant. That woman can't be trusted." "Your prejudice is tearing us apart. Olivia is my wife and the mother of my child. You need to accept that." "I will never accept her. She'll ruin your life. Mark my words." Valentina glared coldly. Despite it all, Michael and I still hoped to mend relations with Valentina. With my pregnancy progressing smoothly into the second trimester and the baby's health more reassuring, we decided to invite her over for dinner. "Olivia, this is our chance to improve things with Mom. Let's show her your kind heart," Michael said optimistically. I agreed. "You're right. I want Valentina to understand our happiness for Zora and the baby's sake. I'd love to foster a peaceful family dynamic." On the evening of the dinner, we welcomed Valentina at the door. I smiled at her warmly. "Valentina, thank you so much for coming. Let's enjoy this time together." But her expression remained stony. "I can't wait to see what you're plotting," she remarked icily before entering our home. As the meal began, Valentina launched into an interrogation. "Olivia, are you pregnant? You barely look like you're showing." Fighting to stay composed, I replied calmly, "Yes, the baby is growing well. My bump isn't too noticeable yet, but the little one is healthy." "Is that so? I wonder if you're lying, trying to trick Michael into giving you money, perhaps?" Her words cut me deeply. "Mom, stop it. Quit insulting Olivia." Michael slammed his hand on the table, visibly irate. The rest of the dinner continued in strained silence. I was exhausted by the end of it. "Michael, I'm going to get some fresh air outside," I said, heading out to the backyard. As I stood by the pool, Valentina approached me. "Olivia, I will never approve of you. You aren't good enough for Michael." I looked up at her, pleading. "Valentina, I love Michael with all my heart. Please accept us." Suddenly, she shoved me forcefully. "I've had enough of your lies." Her scream pierced the night air. The unexpected jolt made me lose my balance. In what felt like slow motion, I tumbled backward into the pool, sinking into the water's depths. "Olivia!" I heard Michael's distant cry as the cold water enveloped me. As consciousness faded, I reached out desperately. I had to protect the baby. That was my last thought before everything went black. When I regained consciousness, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. As I opened my eyes, I saw the white ceiling of the hospital room stretching above me. "Olivia, you're awake." Michael's voice came from beside me, and I slowly turned my face towards him. "Michael, where am I?" I tried to make sense of the situation, but my mind was still hazy. "Valentina pushed you into the backyard pool. You were brought to the hospital, and you're in the ICU now," Michael explained, his eyes filled with deep concern. Suddenly, it all came flooding back. Valentina's icy glare, the sudden shove, the sensation of sinking into the cold water. "Is the baby okay?" I asked hesitantly. Michael gave a small smile and squeezed my hand. "The baby is safe, but your condition took a turn for the worse. They had to perform an emergency C-section." "What?" I was at a loss for words at this unexpected news. "You were hemorrhaging heavily and in critical condition for a while. But thanks to the doctor's efforts, both you and the baby pulled through. You've been asleep for 2 weeks." Tears streamed down my face as Michael explained. "I want to see the baby," I whispered. "Helly, just a moment, I'll have the baby brought in." With that, Michael pressed the nurse call button. A few minutes later, a nurse entered the room, pushing a small bassinet. "Mrs. Smith, here's your baby, a healthy baby boy." Michael gently lifted the baby and brought him over to me. "Olivia, your courage saved this child's life." The instant I held the baby in my arms, I was overwhelmed by an indescribable feeling of joy. His tiny hand gripped my finger tightly. "My darling baby, you've been so brave. Mommy is so glad she could protect you." I softly kissed the baby's forehead. Michael spoke to the baby too. "Hey, little guy, thank you for being so strong. Daddy and Mommy love you with all our hearts." The nurse watched our emotional family reunion with a warm smile. "Have you decided on a name for the baby yet?" Michael and I exchanged glances and grinned. "Hope," I said, "because he's our precious symbol of hope." "What a beautiful name. Congratulations," the nurse said, beaming as I cradled Hope in my arms. I suddenly remembered Valentina. "Michael, what about Valentina?" Michael's expression darkened. "Mom, she's been arrested on charges of attempted murder. She'll have to appear in court." "I see," I sighed, my emotions in turmoil. "But right now, you and Hope are the priority. Let's leave my mother's fate to the courts." Michael tenderly kissed my cheek. "Valentina's child garnered significant media attention in court. She refused to admit to any wrongdoing. 'That woman got pregnant to trap my son. There's no way she had a child,' she yelled defiantly." However, Hope's existence was an undeniable fact. With my testimony and the overwhelming evidence, Valentina was found guilty. "The defendant is hereby sentenced to 5 years in prison," the judge declared, and I breathed a sigh of relief as Michael supported me out of the courtroom. We were swarmed by reporters. "Mrs. Smith, how do you feel right now?" I spoke with a resolute expression. "I simply fulfilled my duty as a mother. I believe that protecting one's child, no matter the obstacles, is a parent's responsibility." Michael, holding Hope, added to my statement. "We will live with hope and face the future head-on. We're deeply grateful to everyone who supported us." A few months after the trial, Michael, Zora, Hope, and I were enjoying our happy days together. Michael was thriving as a lawyer while I juggled parenting and my work as a web designer. "Mommy, Hope walked!" Zora shouted excitedly one day. I rushed to the living room and witnessed an unbelievable sight. Hope, only 10 months old, was toddling around on his own. "Hope, that's amazing. You did so well." I hugged my son, tears of joy welling up. Michael came home and was moved by Hope's first steps. "Good job, little man. Daddy's proud of you. You'll make a great marathon runner someday." We held Hope's small hands and smiled warmly at each other, cherishing this blissful moment we had gained after overcoming such hardships. "Hope, Zora, and Michael, my precious family. Let's keep building a home filled with smiles always." Michael nodded and kissed my forehead. "Being with you is my greatest happiness. Nothing can break our family's bond." Looking out the window, I saw the gentle sunlight streaming in, as if warmly illuminating the future that lay ahead of us. Having weathered countless trials, there was no hardship we feared. Walking through life with my beloved family filled with hope was my unwavering determination. Let's conclude the story shortly. Life with Michael and our children became a beautiful tapestry of love, laughter, and shared moments. Zora blossomed into a bright, kind young girl, always eager to help Hope take his first wobbly steps. As the years passed, Valentina's absence became a distant memory, replaced by the warmth of a growing family. Michael's career flourished, and he became a respected advocate for families facing similar struggles. My graphic design business thrived, fueled by my passion and the support of my loving husband. We learned that love, like a resilient tree, can weather any storm. We learned that family is not defined by blood, but by the bonds we choose to forge. And most importantly, we learned that even in the darkest of times, hope, like a tiny seed, can blossom into something beautiful. The journey wasn't always easy, but with each other by our side, we faced every challenge with unwavering love and a shared belief in a bright future. For in the end, that's what truly mattered: the love we shared, the family we built, and the hope that burned bright within our hearts. After experiencing the full journey of our story, we'd love to hear your thoughts. How did the story resonate with you? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay blessed. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story.